Is there anybody today who is perpetually in power in the United States and in the world? Our political system, no. Every 4 years, or if you're re-elected 8 years, and then you're out, you change. At all levels, there's all this rotation. They set this up on purpose so that we would have liberty, because you can't have an accumulation of power. Now, is there any accumulation of power that is perpetual that we have in the States? Who's always in power? Can you speak louder? People with money, we call them economically powerful people. I don't mean people who've become rich. I mean like the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Oppenheimers, the Schiffs, the Morgans. Okay, these families who have band themselves together. You know that they band themselves together, don't you? Yeah, and they are perpetually in power. Our founding fathers said, you can't have that. If you want liberty, you can't have it. And this is our problem today. We do have it. Look, number 4. This is Thomas Paine speaking to us. Okay, this is not me. I'm observing this in a scientific way. And I agree with him, obviously. But look, Thomas Paine. The people are obliged to rebel against tyrannical laws and against tyrants. The people have the right to rebel? No. We're obliged to rebel. If you want liberty, if you're American. Okay, let's see the next one. He was a driving force for independence. He just absolutely confronted the despotism of England of his time, and he just wanted independence as a nation. Let's see, next one. Let's see what he had to say. Oh, look, here we have the idea of Montesquieu, to divide up the powers. This is why we've had some sense of liberty in this nation that doesn't otherwise exist on this planet. And the reason that it grew so much is why? Action. Action, work. Americans are noted to be the most active people on the planet, or were, until we were more or less deactivated. Kind of tricked by Reaganomics. Put money in the Americans' pockets to stop them, and then, they'll stop. I remember we were talking the other day with my dad and other guys. People had 2 jobs, happily so. People liked to be active. They were after the money, of course, but they're working to get it. Look, if you get money without working for it, that's immoral. We need to consider that. Look at number 3. Giving preferential value to education and moral responsibility. This is a part of our foundation. Facilitate education and moral, ethical conduct, ethical responsibility that we see these multinational corporations don't have. They need to be controlled by law, otherwise they'll do whatever they want to get money. Because they don't have this moral sense that a certain line of people have who followed this spirit of the founding fathers. Okay, so next one. A quote of Jefferson. Look, this is in his day, late 1700s. I believe that banking institutions are more dangerous to our liberties than standing armies. They had an idea of the bad intentions of these people if they're not controlled. Next. James Madison, the 4th President of the United States. A founding father for sure. History records that the money changers have used every form of abuse, intrigue, deceit, and violent means possible to maintain their control over governments by controlling money and its issuance. Do you know that the federal banking, the Federal Reserve, what is it called? The Federal Reserve. You know that it's privately owned, right? It's not owned by the United States government. And in fact, these international bankers, they are from the Knights Templars, secret society, the Templars. And the United States government borrows money from them. Kennedy was trying to get the Federal Reserve into the hands of the government. You know, he did more things for the people than anyone else in history, according to certain historians. So we have a problem. These guys were telling us, look, be careful, you can't do this. Next. I have here a speech. It's an excerpt. John Kennedy. He was speaking to the American Newspaper Publishers Association in 1961. He had a meeting with them because he needed their help with the question of secret societies. He was trying to get them to make the American public more aware of these secret societies. Do you know, in terms of psychopathology, we hide what is sick. You know, what is healthy, what is good, we don't hide. We share with others. But the aspects that we have about us that we know are sick, we hide that. Okay, it's a fundament of psychopathology. And it happens in the social realm at all. If there's something in society that is secret, it's because it's sick. Otherwise, it wouldn't be secret. Okay, so Kennedy was very alarmed by the secret societies, their activities, and their economic power, having more power than the government. Okay, so I have a little excerpt of Kennedy. He's going to speak first tonight. Okay, I've invited Kennedy if he would come and just help us out here a little bit because we're in trouble as a nation. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen,
you can follow
the very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society, and we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. But we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no rumor is printed, no secret is revealed. I'm not asking your newspapers to support an administration, but I am asking your help in the tremendous task of informing and alerting the American people. For I have complete confidence in the response and dedication of our citizens whenever they are fully informed. That is why the Athenian lawmakers told, decreed it a crime for any citizen to shrink from controversy. And so it is to the printing press, to the recorder of man's deeds, the keeper of his conscience, the courier of his news, that we look for strength and assistance, confident that with your help, man will be what he was born to be, free and independent.
I don't know, that just gets me in the guts. We were born to be free and independent, not to be dominated by anyone. But it's a fight to get that on this planet. Now look, here is one of the most popular presidents in all of American history, asking the press for their help. Did the press help to we become better aware of secret societies and their activities? Did they help with that? Absolutely not. Isn't that strange? Let's see the next slide, please. Here we have a quote. This is from David Rockefeller, one of these economically powerful people, in an address to in a meeting of the Trilateral Commission recently, in '91. And obviously there were people from the press there. Look what he had to say. Look, we're putting the two together. Kennedy's request and what he was saying what Rockefeller is saying to the press. We are grateful to the Washington Post, the New York Times, Time Magazine, and other great publications whose directors have attended our meetings and respected their promise of discretion for almost 40 years. Discretion, that is secrecy. It would have been impossible for us to develop our plan for the world if we had been subject to the bright lights of publicity during those years. But the work is now much more sophisticated and prepared to march towards a world government. The supernatural sovereignty of an intellectual elite and world bankers is surely preferable to the national auto-determination practiced in past centuries. Look, let me translate for you this last sentence. Look, the supernatural sovereignty, that is, this elite that is above any kind of a nation, they call themselves intellectual elite. I would call them mentally disturbed people. And the world bankers, he's saying, is surely preferable to the national auto-determination, that is, national democracy. Is surely preferable to democracy practiced in past centuries. Okay? We're back to despotism. That's what we're back to, folks. This is what, and you know, what is the solution? An active people they cannot control. That's why we were deactivated through Reaganomics, through many years, yeah? So our solution is action. Good action, of course, yeah? Just doing what we can to help each other in our communities. And this has a much more force than we might think. I don't know if the American people are able to be reactivated again or not. I really don't know. But I just put this before you for consideration. Next. Look, here's something that I think is happening today. Look at Jefferson's insight. If the American people allow private banks to control the issuance of their currency, do we allow private banks to control our currency? Yeah. First by inflation and then by deflation, the banks and corporations that will grow up around them will deprive the people of all their property until their children wake up homeless on the continents their fathers conquered. This was the wisdom of Jefferson for us. Next. I just wanted to show you that I do have a site, if you're interested in seeing other analysis that we do. ConsciousnessConcerts.com. There are several pages here. We have TV programs where we analyze. We have a television program that is aired in 40 different countries throughout the world. We translate it into 8 different languages. And you're welcome to visit this site. Thank you for your attention.